Hi, my name is Josey. I have sickle cell disease, and this is a series where I asked a couple of my friends to ask me questions in terms of sickle cell disease, because it's not something that we get to hear about daily. It's not something that's written on my big forehead. So yeah, let's get into it.
My question, as I've said the other 5 times, my question is, when you're going through a crisis, yeah, what do you want us to do? The Nancy Koseki, the guys who are just
Did you just say Nancy Koselis?
like, what do you want us to do? Because we can't just be there and say, oh, that's. So it does nothing, right? So yeah, what do you want us?
Oh, it does it.
It doesn't, baby. I've been there.
What I would want you to do is, I think pretty much what people do already, check on me, be there. However, sometimes when my crisis is so long, it feels, you obviously have to get back to your lives, and you have to, you have work, you have school, you have so many things going on, you can't keep on thinking about me. So I think the consistency is what I would need. At least once a week. If you are not so busy, check on me. You could call, you could text, bring me food, please. I love food, even if I'm sick, I will still eat. But yeah, basically I just want you to be there for me. Don't make me feel alone, because it's very easy to get lonely, depressed when you're in a crisis.
Oh my Juicy, I wanted to ask you. Wait, I wanted to ask you, what common misconception that do people have about T-plus that, like, maybe you find like hilarious or like mad?
Common misconception first is that we can't live to a certain age. I am 27 and I'm 27, and yeah, I know people who have gone past that. Number two, we are not able to work. We are not able to participate in various activities. Personally, I'm lazy, but yeah, I know people who do sports. I know people who do pretty much anything that they can, as long as they know how to manage it. So having sickle cells is not something that deprives you of your normal life. It just limits you, and as long as you know where your limit is, you can pretty much do anything.
Hi Josey. So I know you decided not to have children. So I wanted to ask, would you consider changing your mind if you met someone who you wanted to spend the rest of your life with, but they want to have children with you?
First of all, why would you ask this question? And then I knew she would ask this question. No, I have thought about it. I do not want to have children, not because I do not like children, but because I feel like it would be very depressing. Definitely, if I have a child, my child would not have sickle cell disease, because the person I'm dating or going to have the child with is not a sickler, definitely. But I would not want my child to see me sick. I would not want my child to see me in a crisis. The level of pain I go through is, well, it's too much. So I already see that people that take care of me and that all it takes on them, I can't imagine what that would be like for a kid. Selfish or not, it's just something that I don't want to do, nor will consider in the next few years.
Is there anything that we sort of take for granted that is exceptionally more difficult for someone who is handling the condition of having sickle cell anemia?
Okay, so a few things that you healthy people take for granted is one, the peace of mind that you live with is something that you do not take for granted. For example, if I have to go out or do anything, there are several things I have to go through. Actually, not even if I have to go out. If I have to, every day that I wake up, there's several things I have to go through in my mind. And I have to consider my outfit. Is it warm? Do I have a sweater? Is it a cold night? Do I have enough pain meds? How am I feeling? Can I go through this day, or am I pushing too much? Because there are days when I literally can't get out of bed because I'm very exhausted, not because I've had a long day, but because I'm just tired. Like, my body is fatigued because of what I have to deal with. And while you, on the other hand, if someone calls you out, hey, let's go out, you're like, yeah, sure, where are we going? And the only thing you have to worry about is how you're getting there and do you have enough money? Well, for me, I'm thinking, which outfit works for me that's not going to get me into a crisis? Can I do this today? Can I not? Number 2, your water intake. It's very important to hydrate, and it's something that you hardly consider as something that you need to carefully look into. Then when it comes to your diet, I'm going to say, yes, I want to eat this, but then did you know that sickle cell patients are not allowed to have beef? But it's not that you're not allowed to, but it's not good for us because it increases the uric acid in our body, and that's not a good thing. So yeah, there's some things I can't eat. You may or may not know about it. Alcohol intake, that goes back to hydrating. The question about saying, like, if I take alcohol, I'm constantly asked, why are you drinking water? Why are you doing this? But it's because I'm trying not to get into a crisis. And yeah, I have, like Maria, every time you're, on a bounty, it hurts. But yeah, that's about it.
It's very common for people to say that people living with sickle cells have a very low life expectancy. And I'm very sure you've heard this several times, though somewhat untrue. My question to you is, first of all, does this scare you? And if it does, how do you deal with this?
Yeah, definitely it scares me. Every time I fall sick, I think it's the last time that I'm going to get through it. It's actually have an episode where for a week I'll be very depressed, or even I'll have random bouts of depression even when I'm fine, because I don't know what tomorrow is going to be like. Yes, we all don't know what tomorrow is going to be like, but mine is a bit so much in my face. How do I deal with it? Well, you know me, I live life as it comes. If we go shopping, we go shopping. If we are going to a restaurant, we are going to a restaurant. I just live my life as it comes and go with the wind.
I have a two-part question to ask you about sickle cells. The first being, how does sickle cells affect the mental health of those living with it? Mm-hmm. And the second, what strategies do you employ to cope with that strain?
Okay, this is a tough one. Mental health, I've mentioned it already. I get depressed, I have anxiety. For example, if say we plan for something, I'm going to worry about, am I going to be able to make it to that day? If it's a friend's birthday, if it's my birthday, if it's a party or a trip, I'll get major anxiety for that because I don't know what's going to happen. Sorry, first of all, I don't know if I will make it to go for that. And then when I get there, I don't know if I will make it through. I keep on worrying, like, please help me get through the 3 days. So I have major anxiety for that. I get depressed, definitely, when I'm very sick. I get so sad, I feel alone. I can actually sometimes even blame the people around me, which obviously is just, in my head. But how I deal with it, in terms of anxiety, I try to tell myself, we can get through this, you can make it. But then I also take care of myself. I hydrate, have my pain meds with me, try to manage it. And then in case I have a problem, I will tell the closest person to me.
Hi Josey, one thing I would want to know is how you handle stress, like that comes with work, that comes with life, in order for it not to result into you getting a crisis, a sickle cell crisis. So I want to know, what do you do? Are there any steps you follow, or is there anything you do that you can advise other people to do on how to handle stress, basically?
Okay. One, stress is like the biggest reason as to why I would get a crisis. My last crisis was caused by stress and emotional pain. But what I do is I take a break. Like, I will literally stop everything I'm doing. It doesn't matter how urgent it is. It doesn't matter who is going to ask for it. I will just stop and take a break, go home, sleep, watch TV. I love comedy, so that helps me calm down. I just stop whatever is on my plate.
I've read a number of articles talking about bone marrow transplant being a cure for sickle cell disease. So my question for you, Josey, is why do you think we put more focus on pain management protocols for when a crisis comes up, as opposed to the bone marrow transplant, which is like a permanent solution for that disease?
First of all, the bone marrow transplant is very expensive, and then it comes with very significant risks that I could also avoid while living my life with sickle cell disease. And then on the other hand, it really works perfectly for infants, and I'm past the age for that, and it just recently got approved. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But then also, the bone marrow transplant does come with a chance of sickle cell coming back at a point.
Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button on your life? 2, what event in your life would make a good movie?
Would I have a rewind button on my life? I don't think so. I really like my life. I like what I have been able to do with it. I like, I can't say like the bad parts, but yeah, I like what I've got to experience. I've learned from so many situations in my life. So no, I wouldn't have a rewind button. The question about the incident that would be a movie in my life, I can't say it on camera, so you'll have to come and get it because yeah, my parents are going to watch this video, so I can't say anything.
How do you manage to stay, happy, stay amazing the way you are, even when deep inside, you don't know when an attack is going to come?
Yeah, how do I manage to stay positive? That's a very good question and a very tough one, but I just try not to think about it. I try not to make sickle cell disease my life. So if I'm strong that day, I will take advantage of that. If I am not feeling well, I will also allow myself to go through that. Yes, it sucks, but I just feel like I need to take advantage of whatever little time and energy that I get.
A lot of us would definitely like to know why you started the Warriors Club and why now?
What inspired me? I can't say I was inspired. I feel like it's something that I've always wanted to do. I just didn't have the courage to do so. And then I realized that I've been very, very privileged. I emphasize on the privilege to be born in a family that comes with a medical background. So I have not gone through the stigma, the mistreatment that many sickle cell patients go through. And when you get to know this, it hurts, because the kind of pain that I go through is not something that I would wish on anyone. So to know that someone out there doesn't get the care that I get is very painful, and I would like to change that. I would like to change how people view sickle cell warriors. I would like to change the healthcare system in terms of sickle cell warriors, and I just want people to know that having sickle cell disease does not mean that it's not witchcraft. I don't know why people say it's witchcraft. Like it's not witchcraft, it's not a curse. It's a genetic disorder, so it's not something we chose. cancer patients, HIV patients, diabetes, all this have all the attention out there, but not sickle cell disease. Throughout the year, they're going to talk about all these other diseases, but not sickle cell disease. So my point for Warriors Club is to change perspective and to improve opinions of people.